Yeah.
Hi, YouTube. Yesterday, I kind of talked a little bit about some of the situation with the tariffs and everything else, and my experience in manufacturing, and honestly, coming from a farm family and everything else. So, wanted to share a little bit because I know everybody's focused on the Dow, as they should be. That's a massive loss. I think probably the Great Depression and a few others are the only times we've had this steep, a 2 day sustained loss. So, like to look at something that kind of discussed a little bit of yesterday of what's going to happen with commodities prices, because the one thing most of the rest of the world has to retaliate against us on tariffs are agricultural products. And we're already seeing evidence of that happening, even though nobody's really started with the tariffing against us. If we look here, we can already see oat futures down, wheat futures down, rice futures down, soybean down. Now, hogs down, cattle down, corn massively down. Even our oil and everything else is down. Natural gas down because we just started exporting oil and get natural gas, where we just started exporting natural gas. But the interesting thing here is let's look at a few commodities on this chain that are imports, because we just don't make them here in the United States. We can't grow them. We don't have the climate, we don't have the facilities, we don't have, a whole host of things other than maybe orange juice, and you can see that's rather flat. But let's look at cocoa. That's down for July 25th. But coffee, it was up, so that went down a little bit. But coffee is significantly up. So of the things that we do not manufacture here, grow here, they're all up. Orange juice, sugar, we don't really, we grow a little bit here, but not a huge amount. That's usually an import, way up. So this tracks in line with what I kind of talked about yesterday, is that what's going to happen, we're going to see the prices on hogs and then cattle and everything else decline. Beef prices are going to go down because the farmers and the ranchers, they can't afford to feed their livestock anymore. So they're going to have to liquidate it, and that means slaughter. So they're going to, the meat and pork and everything else is going to crash. The prices on that are going to crash. So initially we're going to see a great lowering in those prices, and then it's going to shoot up rapidly. And the soybeans and everything else, it's supply and demand. It's just basic supply and demand. Farmers are, now that they're not going to be able to export these products, they're going to have to silo it, store it, or sell it. And because there's going to be such a huge supply, because we're not shipping millions of bushels of corn or soybean or anything else overseas, it's going to be stuck here in the United States. And that's going to lead to a drastic crash of prices on these products. And farmers aren't going to be able to make any money. Then farmers are going to go bankrupt and out of business. And then there's going to be a tight supply. So the United States is going to become, from the, food producer of the world to barely able to keep up with our own demand if this continues. I personally think Trump can be bought. I said yesterday, my industry group right now is trying to figure out how, who can we contact, where can we go to try and get, figure out what the price is so that we can get exemptions. And I'm sure every trade group in the United States and overseas is doing that. We already know some other countries are lobbying him, like basically. So I'm pretty confident these tariffs will be reversed or much lowered. Like I said yesterday, Trump's problem his entire life is that he just wants to do something. Like, the man got $400 million in inheritance and pissed it away and bankrupted 2 casinos and multiple businesses. Had he just left well enough alone, just said, hey, thanks for the $400 million. I'm going to go enjoy my life and play golf and buy a few golf courses and do nothing else for the rest of my life, the man would be a billionaire. He would be a multi-time billionaire for having done nothing. Instead, he pissed most of it away and lost it, bankrupted casinos, bankrupted businesses. He's doing the same thing with the US. I mean, really, had it just stayed at the 10% tariff, nobody would have cared. I said this yesterday, but nobody would have cared. Stock market would have, 500 points, 1,000 points. Other countries would have said, hey, that's not fair, and then gone right back to doing business with us. Trump could have declared the golden age and gone off to Mar-a-Lago or wherever we're paying him to go and just live the rest of his life. Instead, we get this. Now, I don't think the tariffs are going to stay. I mean, I just don't. Everybody knows the man can be bought. It's no secret. I guess a few MAGAs out there probably think he's like some second coming, inviolable. He's here fighting for the American people. Well, I mean, most of the rest of us know differently. I mean, I'm more center right kind of person or center kind of person. But I think from most of the political spectrum, I mean, unless you're like a fascist Nazi, kind of understands that Trump is corrupt. He can be bought. He can be manipulated. And I think that once the checks start flying his way from banks, from import companies, from Target, from all these other business groups, small business, groups and everything else. Once the money starts flowing his way from this, he'll reverse course on a lot of this pretty quickly. And I'm sure foreign money is going to start coming in. I mean, Saudis are already, have a prime opportunity to do a test case this weekend. I don't know what the tariff rate on Saudi Arabia was, but I suspect it'll disappear by the end of this weekend. And that's just going to be the case going forward. It's going to be a transactional type of system. If you kiss the ring and spend the money, you can get the tariffs reduced or taken off. And that's true for companies and everything else. So we are just in a wait and see mode. I think most companies are going to have to act like the tariffs are going to stay. So prices are going to increase in the short term, and they're going to increase significantly. Will that stay once the tariffs are taken off? Yes. So we're going to get a period of very high inflation, and then he'll probably be bought off in order to remove the tariffs. And once those tariffs go away, those high prices will stay. It'll take a long time for them to come down because companies are not going to be, I mean, the profit margin from this is going to be huge, assuming they don't have to pay the tariff. So they've been given a great opportunity to raise prices, which they're going to take. And then they're going to pocket the profits for as long as they can until some pressure makes them drop. Now, what that pressure may be, I don't know. I already know in my industry, most shipments to Canada have stopped. Canadian customers up there are canceling orders or are fully stocked up in preparation for the tariffs and the trade war. So that's not going to happen. Those sales were probably around 18 to 20% industry. So it's going to hurt bad. We're already prepping for shutdowns, layoffs, in the manufacturing plants and everything else. So it's not good. It's not good at all. But I do think he can be bought. I think he will be bought. And we'll see where it goes from there. He's stayed pretty adamant that he's going to leave the tariffs. And let's face it, some of his commentary today is just literally the ramblings of a demented old man. And it's basically old man yelling at cloud with an onion on his belt, if you get that Simpsons reference. Elon is the other one. I think he's announced he's leaving Doge, but Doge is still there. Frankly, I think most of what they were doing was installing backdoors and systems into government departments and agencies so that it can be somewhat controlled remotely. So even though Elon might be gone from Doge, I don't think he's really going to be gone. He'll be able to control and shut down some of the stuff remotely. And just on some of, how stupid of a timeline do we live in? I mean, really. I mean, did anybody think this? I'm in between Gen X and millennials, and growing up, I don't think. I mean, growing up, the biggest presidential scandal was a blowjob in the Oval Office. I mean, that's just it. I mean, and who can forget Obama's tan suit or George W. Bush getting a shoe thrown at his head? Um, I just don't think anybody ever envisioned this would happen. I mean, I get it. It's hard. It's going to be hard. I mean, we're all already feeling it. People in storm damaged areas, the repair is going to be way more than you thought it would be because the commodities prices and the lumber prices and everything that goes into building a house is going to be more expensive as you go to rebuild your houses. Um, Not to mention that we're never going to get our standing in the world back. That will not come back. Uh, Europe is already building a European army. They're going to source their armament from themselves rather than buy it from us, which they have for since World War II. I mean, we've been the arms supplier for Europe. We've been the arms supplier for Democratic Asia for since World War II, and that is in the span of 2 months that's changed completely. I've heard it termed the Pax Americana, meaning we enforced world peace because we were the superpower. It's absolutely unfathomable that a superpower can be dismantled in 2 months, but that's what's happened. Um, if anybody knows history, you have South Korea, Japan, and China working together. Those three countries hate each other, despise each other. If you were to take someone from 1947 from those three countries and put them in a room, they would probably try to strangle each other before they would even say hi. That's how much the animosity runs. And here they are coordinating a joint response to our tariffs. Um, Going back to Elon, I think he's an odd one. Um, I think could do another video. There's a lady on Blue Sky, um, Jenny Cohen, Jenny Cohen, and she's done a lot of research into techno fascism, network states, and everything else. And it's a fascinating read. But bottom line, there's this guy by the name of Curtis Yarvin that Elon Musk and a lot of the tech industry elite look to as some sort of philosophical guru. And the guy has just off the wall ideas. I mean, take Ayn Rand and multiply it by 1,000. I mean, this guy actually feels like unproductive members of society should be essentially liquidated. I mean, we're talking if you remember some old school sci-fi movies like a Carousel, like they should just be liquidated, and that includes like elderly. And this is the guy who Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and a lot of these other tech folks are actually listening to. Like they legit listen to this guy, and that is frightening. He was even at a Trump inauguration event that I saw recently, and I think the one thing that to me perfectly encapsulates Elon Musk is I like old movies. I like old movies, old books, and everything else. And I think it's this movie encapsulates Elon Musk, and it's particularly this scene. If you know it, it's the movie Sneakers, and the main bad guy. It involves a computer chip that can crack any code, so nothing is secret. There is no privacy. Any computer can be hacked. Any account can be broken into, and frankly, it's very much like what Doge has done. They have infiltrated every system, everybody's banking information, everybody's tax information, everybody's account information. Elon Musk has access to. Just think of that for a second. when you're watching this clip, because this is literally what the guy has talked about doing, and in some small scale has done. I think if you look back a little bit, he basically destabilized and removed the democratically elected government of Honduras because of the lithium there, and he needed it for Tesla. So we'll take a look at this.
It's good to see you.
We were going to change the world, Marty. Remember? Did you ever get around to actually doing it? No, I guess not.
And it's pretty interesting because Elon Musk used to be a very heavily progressive guy in Democratic circles, and he constantly talked about his products changing the world and how he's going to take us to Mars and everything else. He's going to change the world, change humanity, save humanity.
Well, I think I can.
Really?
Yes. What's wrong with this country, Marty? Money, you talking about. Evil defense contractors had it, noble causes did not. Politicians are bought and sold like so much chattel. Our problems multiply. Pollution, crime, drugs, poverty, disease, hunger, despair. We throw gobs of money at them. Problems always get worse. Why is that? Because money's most powerful ability is to allow bad people to continue doing bad things at the expense of those who don't have it.
I agree. Now, who did you say you were working for?
Oh, that's just my day job. Listen, when I was in prison, I learned that everything in this world, including money, operates not on reality, but the perception real.
Is any of this sounding familiar to anyone? I mean, we could literally look at the tweets from the last year, public statements from multiple tech people like Zuckerberg, Musk. Bezos is I think Bezos is just in like an extreme midlife crisis. I mean, he's just with his lady and living his life. So he's kind of a weird one. But for sure, we've heard it from many tech leaders, this exact stuff, particularly crypto people, that money is, financially shaky. We can't trust money. It allows bad people to do bad things. Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if they were writing the script today.
Pause it. People think a bank might be financially shaky. Consequence: people start to withdraw their money. Result: pretty soon it is financially shaky. Conclusion: you can make banks fail. I've already done that. Maybe you've read about a few.
I'd like to point out Silicon Valley Bank.
Think bigger. Stock market? Yes. Currency market? Yes. Commodities market? Yes. Small countries?
Check, check, and check.
I might even be able to crash the whole damn system.
And check, small countries.
Destroy all records of ownership. Think of it, Marty.
Which they now have access to.
No more rich people, no more poor people. Everybody's the same. Isn't that what we said?
Well, we all know they're not going to do that, right?
We always wanted.
Guys, you haven't gone crazy, have you?
Who else is going to change the world, Marty? Greenpeace?
For younger folks out there, Greenpeace was an extreme environmental organization that was universally known as very special people who did very crazy things.
You are crazy.
So seriously, you can, I mean, just listening to that clip, because I haven't seen it in a while. I love the movie. But it's almost like, honestly, we should probably just throw salt and sand at whoever decided to show that movie to Elon Musk. Because it's like he just took that movie and said, yeah, absolutely, I can do that. And then started doing it. So please remember to like and subscribe. That's what I'm doing tonight. And everybody have a great night.